we left off last time where I was going to try, or actually I got done honing this, and it measured the 8/10,000ths interference you're supposed to have. So with gremlins that happen overnight, because you know things change overnight, and certainly during the day, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remeasure this to make sure that hasn't changed, and remeasure that and make sure that hasn't changed. So I'm going to get my mics and redo it. Why not? Right? $30. It's hard to believe that just a little bit of sandpaper and some finesse, some patience goes a long way. Don't always need a machine shop. That's 30. I mean, this is like right on the button here. 30, 30, 30. I mean, there's like no variance here. 30, 30, 30, 30. I mean, here, I'll lock it out. Oh, shoot. All right, redo it. Trying to be light-handed, and it just ain't working. We're at 30. So let's just do this, just to get a different area. And I'm not even going to look. I mean, maybe you guys don't believe me. I'm going to lock it out. And what do we got? Shy above 30. Shy above, right there. Let me take that measurement again. Just to make sure, just to make sure. There may have been an area I missed. And it happens. Okay, that's why the gremlins, overnight gremlins. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there, I missed the spot. I'm going to sand that out. Give me a second. There's no sense in me taking video. Well, maybe there is. Now remember, I want to do this back area right here. So I'm going to hold it here. So the tight spot's here. And I'll give it a 4 count. Do it again over here. Let me see what I got. Two, 3.5. Okay. Let's see. Just keep going at it here. I may have missed a spot, you know? It happens. Like I said, those overnight gremlins, they'll get you. They'll get you every time. And this is 1500. And this is 1500, so it's actually polishing it rather than really flattening and removing. Which then we get into body work, and that's a whole nother subject. So 500. Actually looks like it's polishing. Oh, I think I used the 220 last time. That's what it was. This 220, now I'm doing 500. That's why it's kind of polishing it. So, let's keep going here. Five. I'm going to have to read it out here. See what I get. Oh, this. There we go. Just going to say it can't be getting bigger. More gremlins. Okay. There's 5, 1, 2, 3. That's it. There's 30. So that's 30. Let's go to another place. Let's just do right here. $30. And let's just do over here. Let's do over here. That actually feels a little smaller. How do you feel 10 thousandths? Well, you can. You get used to it. 1, 2, 3, just shy of 30. How about that? There's no marks on it. I'm telling you, after you do this for a while, you guys that do this for a living and do it for a while, you know what I'm talking about. You can look at this and you can be like, okay, that's 10 thou. Actually, it's 9. Jesus, I'm gonna have to do this. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 8. So, anyways, all right. So, I'm gonna call that done. Now for this, what you want to find the interference. Take this. Take your measurement, lock it, and you know these are sensitive tools. You really don't want to be just kind of throwing them around. And sometimes I do throw my tools around, which is I shouldn't. You know, respect the tools. You know. Let's see if I can get this. I'm trying to figure out a way to get this on camera. Just kind of falling over myself here. So basically I took the reading, I locked it out, and now I just want to get this to the lowest point. I hope you guys can see that. See? Heat, when you get into these 10 thousandths mark, 10 thousandths, heat plays a big role here, okay? So you can't put a lot of heat in everything. You can't let it cool down, you know. You got to make everything an ambient temperature. These measurements get real sensitive to temperature. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to zero this out, because I do need to zero it out because the measurements have changed. It's hard to do 3 things at once, especially with 2 hands. There you go. See, it's zeroed out. Oh, maybe just a tad. Oh, it's crooked. No, I can't use that reading. It's got to be straight. It's got to be perfectly in the middle. Sorry this is taking so long, guys. I got to make sure that these measurements are good. You know. All right, it's about as good as it's close enough to get me a reading, okay? So it's zeroed out. So any reading passed is my interference fit. I'm going to get this out of the way. See, I'm getting different readings. All right, so let's take some more readings here. That's too much of an interference. Gonna have to go over this again. But the thing is, They're all, now see, you may say, oh, okay, what I did didn't work. Well, you'd be wrong, because it doesn't matter if I take the measurement here, doesn't matter if I take it here, go deeper, I'm getting the same reading. Now I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn this and set it down. I'm going to take my reading. See, it's the same now. Before I was getting different. I was getting different readings. I go down more. See, same reading. Now I'm going to turn it here. Let me back it up. Turn it a little. See, I'm getting the same readings now. Before it was different. So what I did worked. I just got to take a little bit more. But before I take more, okay, let me turn a little. That's a little heavy there. That's good. 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 All right. My phone overheating, and I got about halfway into it, and I noticed that it wasn't recording, so I threw my phone in the freezer and got it down to temperature, and here's where I'm at. But anyways, I did grind a little bit more, so I took this and I ground it down some, and then I sprayed it with gasoline, so it should be clean enough to bore gauge. Now, it wasn't that easy, okay? I had to, again, mark it. I had to grind it a little and mark it again. And I did that in my other video, so I just figured, what the hell? End result is an end result, and a measurement is a measurement, so here we go. That's my interference. Now, it's just below 10, just below. 9. Go down, 9. Tad over. Tad over. Turn it. 9, 10, 9, 9, 10. Turn it. Let me see if I can get you. 9.5. 9. 8.5. 9. 11. All right. Right down there. And I'll hit the other side right there. All right. Finally got that high spot. It was stubborn. It was stubborn. But that was it. That was the only high spot. It's just that one area. It was like really hardened in that one area for some reason. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I got my half moon file. And my 220. I'm just going to lightly go over it. Give it a little twist motion. Yeah, just kind of finesse it out. So, thinking of changing the name of my garage or YouTube channel to a garage channel because it's what I do on the weekend. I work 24 as a firefighter, and I work 48 as a mechanic, as a wrench. So I'm just a tool. You can use me, don't play me. I'm not an instrument. So here we go. Let's just get, you know what? Let's just press it on. Let's get to it, huh? Let's just get on with it. Right? I mean, this back and forth gets old after a while. And I have enough back and forth video. I mean, if you guys want to know that I'm not hiding anything from you guys. I mean, you're seeing me step by step. It's just when I shorten the video or when I speed it up, that's because I'm talking slow. I'm thinking and talking at the same time, which is never good, right? So, I mean, let's see what this has, huh? it off real fast. Aha! I forgot the anti seats. Guy I used to work with said his friend called this stuff ain't gonna ever never seize, and you have to have that accent with it. That's funny because when I lived up north, the South had the accent. Now that I'm down south, I think I got the accent. It's funny how that works. It's funny how that works out, you know? So I got the accent. I grew up between Chicago and New York, so got some of that. And now, starting to pick up on the southern drawl. What's going on with that, huh? Anyways, so, anywho, let's see what this thing feels like. Been chomping at the bit, going back and forth. I'm just tired of going back and forth. I just want to see, you know, see if I'm making any progress, see if I'm doing any good. Because I mean, think about it. I think there's only like 8 more weekends, and here's my crankshaft, and my transmission is still apart inside the Durango, inside the back seat. You know that is. So there's that. All right, let's see how she presses into place. Okay, that is smooth. I can tell you right now, this is butter. This is butter right here. See, I ain't got much pressure on it either. I mean, you can feel it get tighter naturally, but it's very, very smooth. I mean, before it was like, when I was over here, I'd be picking up on the crank and forcing this down, and it would start to bind, and it still might bind because, you know, it's a 10 thou interference now. It's on the snug side, so it might start to bind a little bit, which is fine. I mean, it's obviously getting tighter because I'm pressing it on more, but it's still very silky smooth. Very, very smooth. And even. It's not like it's getting tight and then loosening up and starting to stop and start. No, it's very, very, it's getting tight. There's no doubt about it. But it's very smooth. It's crinkled a little bit there. See, it's starting to, and that's absolutely normal from what I've been doing in the past. What to hear, what to feel for. See, it's getting tighter, which is normal, but it's still smooth. And this is about the furthest it's ever been on. Still smooth. Yeah, it's on the tight fit, but I already knew that because it was 10 thou. My goal was to get it 8 thou, so. Yeah, very smooth. It's definitely on the tight end of the spectrum. So, here's what I'm going to do. I can force this on, but I don't want to do that. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to take this off. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hone this very lightly one more time with the 220, and then I'm going to take just a tad off the crank. I'm going to use that 500 and polish the crank, okay? And I'm going to just press it on like that. And I will do a final measurement right before I do that and see where I end up. So I will be adding to this video. Stay tuned. So I accidentally left this in the freezer, and I got sidetracked. You know how it is. Get pulled away. So anyways, I let this warm up, and I'm right. Let's see if you guys can try and get the best angle here. Got about 9 right there. Come up a little. It's 8. As you can see, a little bit of honing goes a long way. And let's see if this will press on. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain, and if it is raining, I'll go ahead and put the crank in the engine and check the clearances. And I got bigger bearings so I can get a looser oil clearance. And I did that on purpose because I want this crank to actually move without touching the bearing. And there's a reason for that. It'll definitely make it live longer in high stressful situations. And this just might get another one of my my roots blowers. I have an 871 and I have another big bore 671. So I'm definitely thinking about throwing one on this. All right. Now that I know that's set, and it likes, you know, 7, exactly what the direction said, 7 to 9. And that's actually a really good press. Very nice. It transfers, yep, transfers through the crank nice. That's what I did to the oiling holes. So kind of hard to get the angle of the dangle here. Sometimes this light helps, and sometimes it's just annoying. There you go. That's what I did to all the oiling. It's nice and smooth. Every one of them. I'll take some memory to that. And of course, before I put it all back together, I'm going to mic it from here to here and make sure it's just, you know, it's straight. I got a lot of time in this crank, and it's supposed to be just a drop in and go. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wasting my time. Who knows? You ever notice how the weights get bigger on the end and smaller in the middle? There's a reason for that. It's in one of my other videos. Alright, so that's that. And get this sucker done. Hopefully in the engine tomorrow. Alright.